Lawmakers from Nigeria's House of Representatives have also condemned the attack on Nigeria's air and rail facilities, calling for quick and decisive action. Some lawmakers say the recent attacks, mainly in Nigeria's northwest region, are a threat to the nation's security and an attempt to ground transportation services nationwide. They urged Nigeria's federal government to commence an investigation into the attacks and declare war on the terrorists. In the meantime, barely hours after an attack on a passenger train in Nigeria, terrorists have again attacked Gidan train station along the Abuja-Kaduna rail track in the north of the country. Sources say the terrorists have planted improvised explosive devices on the tracks, forcing the train heading to Abuja from Abuja to a stop. This is the second attack within 24 hours along the same axis. At least 7 persons were killed when a terrorist attacked a train at Dutsa village on Monday. Now, joining us on NC Continental Prime this evening to discuss this further is a retired Commodore Abimbola Ayuba. He is a security expert and analyst. Good evening and thanks for joining us, Commodore Ayuba.
Thank you very much, Benga. Thanks for having me.
Now, Commodore Ayuba, Kaduna State is in the news for the wrong reasons in recent times. Within 48 hours, an aircraft and a passenger train were attacked by terrorists. Would it be right to say the state is under a security siege?
Well, certainly, Benga, I want to agree with you that the situation in Kaduna has escalated to the extent that one could only demand for a state of emergency to be declared in that particular region of Nigeria because of the increasing and unabating spate of terrorism. And annoyingly, most of the actors, non-state actors and terrorists, are having so much freedom of action. And it appears as if all the efforts of government is becoming inadequate and far between. Benga.
Now, Commodore Ayuba, this is the second time in 6 months that the rail track in that axis was attacked. One wonders, and you don't necessarily have to be a security expert to know that this is a legitimate for them thinking, using intelligence to know that the terrorists would always want to hit this soft target, and they're very easy targets for them. So what exactly is wrong with our security architecture and intelligence gathering for them not to forestall some of these attacks before they happen?
Well, thank you very much, Benga. I will say it for the 18th time that the clamor for states and community policing is more than ever before important, necessary to be actualized. Because when you look at the challenges being faced by the Nigerian military alone, almost participating in internal security operations in almost all the states of the Federation, what is the strength of our armed forces? What is the strength of our other security agencies? I believe that we need to rejig the system because these guys must have ridden on the trains. They must have been mingled with law-abiding citizens for a long time to study the character and nature of movements in between Abuja. And for instance, they all know that now almost all the VIPs don't travel by road. So any opportunity they have to seize a first-class coach, for instance, they know they are going to get very, very prime people to kidnap for ransom sake, or at the least, embarrass the government. Now that we are running into the finish line of this particular democracy, and we are beginning to look at the next election.
We begin to wrap things up. As stated earlier, terrorists attacked Kaduna's international airport despite Governor El-Rufai's efforts in tackling banditry. You have suggested that we should incorporate state policing into our security architecture. Are the governors, I mean, the governor is the chief security officer of the state, but has this problem gone beyond what he has? Has it gone beyond him, and is it now a fully military problem?
Initially, I sympathize with Governor El-Rufai. Initially, he was putting up a fine face, but at some point, he had come out to join his voice to renaming or reclassifying those we call bandits as terrorists, knowing that what is on hand is even more than what he can handle. And we all know that technically governors are being referred to as chief security officer of the states, whereas they have no control over any of the federal security structures that have been sent to their states.
Even the police commissioner
is one of the bane.
Even the police commissioner of the state will take orders from the IG in Abuja.
Certainly, he will have to take clearance from the IG. And that's why if you have state policing, community policing, at all, even from the ward level, all these ungoverned spaces, these guys have too much freedom of action because of the vast ungoverned spaces. We cannot continue to say that 200 terrorists rode on bikes, and we cannot see them using any of the available technology, either drones or thermal sensors or something, not feeling the carbon signature of all these motorcycles. Where did they get the fuel to fuel 100 bikes? Some people will know about the preparation. And so there's need to go back and do something decisive. It's time that we clear this so-called forest. It's time we put an end to this mess, because these guys are getting daring.
Yes, they are indeed getting daring week after week. We see the audacity and the nature of the attacks. I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Commodore Ayuba, for your contributions tonight on NC Continental Prime.